All right, all right. Got a special guest with me today. My little brother Terry.
How's everybody? Hello.
Say what's up to the family.
What's up, y'all?
Yeah, tell him we're coming out here. You want to come check out what's going on?
Yeah, coming out here checking out Big Sis's garden and how progress is going for her. It looks real good.
Yeah. So let's go take a look. Tell me what you think there. You know, I've been working on this thing. We call him Fuzz. His name is Terry, but Fuzz, that's Fuzz to us.
That's right.
That's Fuzz to us. So we actually are coming out here to check this garden out.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, man, I tell you, it's a daily thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got out here this morning, did some harvesting of some stuff, and you know, I still do my juicing every morning. That's my first break fast in the mornings, getting my green juice going.
Right.
So I go and I get my fresh vegetables out of the garden.
Right.
That I'm a juice with, and I maybe pull a few little weeds that might be going on, but bottom line, it's a daily.
It's a daily chore.
Yeah. So
Thing about gardening, it's gonna always entail, you know, not just coming out and picking the vegetables and things like that. Anything that you see that maybe an eyesore or out of place, yeah, you're gonna show some attention to it.
Exactly. So as you can see, I've got corn. I've got bird is caught up in the net. You know, I've got my blueberries netted over there, and the birds are getting caught up in it because they just insist on trying to get in that net to get to my blueberries. So they get hung up in it. They eventually find their way out, but they get hung up in it quite often. But yeah, this is what we got going on. Fuzz, you know, strawberries.
Strawberries.
You eat strawberries, don't you?
Oh man, love them.
I got a gallon bag in there I'm gonna give you to take with you. I've given Kat and Kiki, Ben. I've given quite a few people bags of strawberries because they just putting out. They putting out big time.
Right.
I have to get out here just about every day and harvest strawberries out of there. And it's so much of it. The birds, they have their fill, and I still have quite a bit that I can share with family.
So it's growing that well for you.
Yes. And
give me a little rundown, sis, of all that you have on each row.
oh, certainly. Come on, let's take a walk through. Yep. Take a walk through here. So, of course, on this first row here, I've got my strawberry patch. I had to do some work to try to contain them because they were just everywhere. So I had to put a border around them and try to keep them inside that border because, you know, strawberries run. And once they run, they're almost like a potato situation.
Right.
They dig in, root, and start a whole new plant.
Wow.
They continue to create berries, and you see all of the white flowers that are on them. Those are strawberries.
So the white flowers are actually strawberries.
Correct.
Wow. How
That's
about that?
that's fruit. That's fruit that's coming up, and up alongside the fence line, those are tomatoes that are there, and then these little ferny looking situation. Yeah, that's dill.
Really?
That's actually dill. I put out dill about 2 years ago.
Right.
And I put it out at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And the seeds, as you can see, I'm going to show you what it does. I don't ever have to plant dill ever again. See this right here on that pot with the yellow flowers? That's dill.
Okay.
And so those seeds just spread. And I have dill for days.
Yeah. All over.
Mm-hmm. I don't ever have to plant dill again. It's just everywhere. And I love the way it smells. Put your finger on one of them and rub it.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, right?
Yeah.
That's dill. But yep, so let's go ahead and continue looking at a few things. And I know I got food packed in here, so, and I did it intentionally. I wanted to have food everywhere. So we'll come back to this side, but let's continue down this row. So up along this second row is peppers. Bell peppers, all sorts of hot peppers. I was telling my brother that I will be making hot sauce this year. So I got just about every kind of pepper you can name, hot pepper that is, to get them ready for me to mix up my hot sauce, my homemade hot sauce this year. So
looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So I do have bell peppers, sweet bell peppers in there, but yeah, on this first row is primarily hot peppers. There's a kale plant in there, but the main thing on this row is hot peppers. This third row is a row of cabbage with more peppers, and then on this row here we've got Asian mustards, and then the ones with the flowers on it is just curly mustards that have gone to seed. I love for them to go to seed because I keep the seeds. I save them so that I have them. Same thing as this situation right here.
This?
Same thing. So that's mustards, curly mustards, and it's going to seed. They typically bolt like that when it starts getting hot. Yeah, they'll bolt up into a seed.
Between the Asian mustards and the, your regular mustards, is there a taste difference? Or?
It just a little bit. They both have like this kind of spiciness to them, a little bite to them.
Right.
Mustards tend to have a little strong bite to them anyway, bitter. I love bitters. Bitters are good for you. They help to keep your digestive system cleaned out. So it's always good to intake some bitters, man.
Sounds
big
like
time.
I need to eat more mustard.
Yeah, they will clean you out, and then they also too help to keep your immune system boosted up. So it's always good to get that bitter and that bite into you. Same thing like with garlic. Garlic helps to fight off of bacteria and stuff like that because of that strong bite and stuff. It's just got that antibacterial fighter in it. So I incorporate garlic in my green drinks that I make in the mornings. I do garlic. I do green leafy vegetables. I do a piece of ginger, maybe a slice of lime or lemon. And I drink it just as green as I can get it because I want that chlorophyll going to me to give me that nice detoxification situation. It helps to keep your bowels regulated. It detoxifies you. It cleans you out.
And that's an important factor in life, guys.
Yep.
Very much important.
Yep. So I want to show you some more of the garden here. Down here in this little hump, let me just get down here. This right here, what you see here, looks like lilies. That's actually turmeric.
Turmeric?
Yeah, turmeric is good for you as well. Lots of medicinal properties to turmeric. Turmeric, ginger, that it's always good to have turmeric, ginger, garlic growing in your garden because they're going to help to keep your immune system boosted and also help to fight off bacteria that's in the body. You rarely see me with a cold or anything, don't you?
Right.
Because I keep that kind of stuff inside me. I ingest it often. So yeah, I've got fresh turmeric growing there. And then this right here, Fuzz, let me see if I can get down here and show that to you. This right here, these are potatoes.
Potatoes?
Now, I didn't plant potatoes this year. Those potatoes were there from last year. I just left them under there.
So, and it came back on its own?
It came back. It started coming back up, and I left it there. So it was a potato or two left under the ground all winter long. And
now,
as you
a
can
plant
see,
like that would normally yield how much?
You leave it under there because they got so much space. Those are actually those red potatoes.
Love them.
Yes. when I dig that up, when it gets big enough and ready to be harvested, I'll dig up those potatoes. I might get maybe 15 good potatoes out of it.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
So that's a vegetable that doesn't actually surface.
Correct.
It stays underneath.
It stays on the ground. Exactly. It's same with sweet potatoes. I didn't do sweet potatoes this year because they are so evasive. Sweet potatoes, just like watermelons, but sweet potatoes more so. They are a vining type vegetable as well. When you plant them, those vines just go out, dig in, root, and start creating more and more potatoes. You potentially have potatoes all over your entire garden.
Wow.
If you didn't keep it under control. So many people, because of that, will grow sweet potatoes in particular in a container.
Okay.
You know, because they will take over your garden if you don't stay on top of it. I had some one year, and I was I pulled them up. What I thought I had done was pull all of them up, but I had potatoes for days, man. And they stay under the ground.
I can imagine, you know, the individual rows, how you have everything, you know, separated. And all. That's a lot of work put into this, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. And it's not something you can just do and walk away from. You have to stay on top of it, because right now I need to put in some layers of some type of cover, like mulch or straw or something, to help suppress the grass and the weeds from coming in. But otherwise, I would be out here often keeping weeds pulled, you know, so that they don't take over the vegetables. But yeah, there's a mixture of all sorts of cabbage, more peppers, kale, squash. These are squash right here, but this is your zucchini squash, the green squash. And then I've got your regular yellow squash. I actually grow the crookneck yellow squash.
Now this is corn, I'm assuming?
This is corn. So these, as you can see, are more mature than the others that I have, but you can see they all starting to come up. So I've got lots of corn going. Once they do get to a size where they're getting the heads of corn on them, the kernel, the corn head, I'm going to have to find a way to protect them, to keep, because I had some last year and the squirrels just ate all of it.
So you're looking for something of
a netting type situation.
Barrier? Or?
Yes. So I'm going to build something around all of them to just throw it over to keep the critters from coming in here eating up my corn, because they will. Yep.
I can truly say, you know, looking at the garden, AN-T-NEES does have a buffet for any kind of wildlife that's in here.
What'd you say, Terry?
There is literally a buffet in this area over here for any wildlife.
So yeah, it's pretty full, and it's going to get even fuller. I've got all sorts of beans. What you see standing up here, these little stalky plants here, I'm sure you know what these are. Onions. So in about another week or so, I'll be digging those onion bulbs up. Wow. I've got red onions, white, yellow onions in there, so I'll dig them up and get them stored up real good.
Now let me ask you, something like an onion, once you pull it up, is that something that you have to replant, or does it just come back?
No, an onion, right. It's not what you would per se call a perennial that's just gonna come back on its own once you pull the entire bulb up. But what I will tell you is that when you have an onion that's sitting on your counter in the home and it starts to sprout out, you could actually put that particular onion back in the ground and it'll grow another side to it. Create a second onion or whatever. Or you could cut the base of it off where the root is and put it in the ground. Wow. And it'll grow an onion. Your chives are good for that. Like, you go to the store and you buy the onion chive well, they call them the green onions. You can actually, once you cut your green onion piece off and it's got that bottom on it with the root, don't throw it away. Put it in the ground. It will grow more onion. I'm going to show you a situation exactly like that. Come follow me. And all of this right here, these are beans, more green leafy stuff, tomatoes.
What's this guy?
That is a garlic chive.
How about it?
So rub your fingers over it and you'll smell the garlic.
Yep.
Garlic chive. Yep, family. He was just running his fingers over that garlic chive there. I think I got a shot of it. This sun is blazing out here. Yep, but that's a garlic chive. We've got tomatoes on the other side of that little trellis, makeshift trellis. I've got here a little somewhat of a teepee situation I tried to create with these garden poles. And inside, underneath the base of that teepee, you'll see tomatoes coming up. Those tomatoes actually came from my compost.
Wow.
Yep. When I put my compost soil out here, whatever tomato seeds was in there, they come back up. They always do. I don't ever have to buy tomato plants, or that matter, try to germinate tomato plants in a seed, from a seed situation, unless it's a specific type of tomato plant I want. But if I'm just looking for tomatoes that might be a cherry situation, because they typically come back like a cherry tomato, they don't never come back true to what they were,
right?
Because they weren't heirloom type tomatoes. But they are very good cherry type tomatoes that come back. And I just put this little TP effect over the top of them so I could trellis them up through that once they get of a bigger size. Over on that side where my chicken coop is, you see climbing up the wire, those are cucumbers.
Okay.
Yep, I did that this morning. I started trying to train them to run up that side of that wire.
So how many, out of all the vegetables that you have planted, how many of them are on a perennial situation?
Let's see.
If there is such, that you can say, okay,
these will keep coming back every year.
Coming back every year for you.
Probably none.
So,
your vegetables just aren't typically that way.
Okay, so most of them you have to replant.
I'll take that back. I'll give you a perennial situation. Let me get the camera over here and I'll show you. I take that back, Fuzz. Okay. What we're looking at right here, this patch of greenery right here, that's asparagus.
Okay.
And asparagus comes back every year on its own.
This is asparagus.
That is asparagus.
You'd never guess that by looking at that plant.
So it's going through a seeding phase right now, but the asparagus has a root system on it that goes, man, it could go at least anywhere from 6 to 8 feet deep. That root system that's on it. So when they die off, they come back up every year.
I guess at that depth of ground, they are at a nutrient level to where that can happen. Basically.
Yes, you got it. Very nutrient dense type plant because of the root system. It goes so deep.
Right.
Yep, they go very deep, which is it's some people do grow them in pots. For me, it would be kind of difficult because of how deep the roots are supposed to go into the ground. But yes, that is considered a perennial.
That is pretty deep.
Yep. Now, you do have like mustards and other things that create this flowering type situation, and you'll see them blow seeds around and they'll continue to push out more plants because of those seeding situations with the blowing of the wind, blowing the seeds around. But just to say that they're perennial, gonna naturally just come back every year, no. Your asparagus is pretty much the only thing that's gonna do that. These garlic chives, they stick around all year long.
It almost has the appearance of a daylily or monkey grass.
Yes. Yes. So they do come back. I mean, they don't even die off in the winter. They stay just like that.
Wow.
But everything looks a little withery right now today, family, because it's hot. It's very hot out here.
That sounds like an ordinary plane.
Yeah, big plane coming over. But what I'm getting ready to do is show you a situation where you could take a green onion that you buy in the store, and when you cut the green onion portion off, you can save that base of it that has a root on it, and put it in the dirt. You get what you see right here.
Wow.
A new onion sprouting.
Onion sprouting up.
Yep, that's exactly what this is. I just throwed it in the ground, and it wasn't even an inch tall.
Look at it.
And look at it now. Yes. But more corn, strawberries, beans, French beans, contender beans. The sugar snap peas are about done. They don't like hot weather, so they'll be finishing up here real soon. But these particular beans are fantastic in a stir fry situation. You could put them in a nice stir fry with onions and other type vegetables like zucchini and squash, and it's fantastic. And they taste good right off the vine. Take that one and pinch off that bottom portion and that top portion, and just take